In February 2026, a shooting at a private residence in Hyde Park, Johannesburg, quickly became a major news story. The property was linked to the family of Robert Mugabe, the late former president of Zimbabwe. Emergency services responded after an employee working at the residence, a young gardener, was shot during what police described as an altercation. Authorities soon confirmed that Bellarmine Chatunga Mugabe was present at the property at the time of the incident. The victim was transported to hospital in critical condition, while police secured the scene and began interviewing witnesses. Because of the Mugabe family's global profile, the incident drew immediate public attention. Early information remained limited, but one detail stood out. The firearm believed to have been used in the shooting had not been recovered. This meant investigators would rely heavily on statements, forensic evidence, and reconstruction of the timeline. What began as a private incident had now become a high-profile criminal investigation. Following the shooting, police detained suspects connected to the incident. Authorities announced several charges, including attempted murder, unlawful possession of a firearm, and defeating the ends of justice. Investigators searched the property extensively, focusing on locating the missing firearm, a key piece of evidence that could clarify what happened. At this stage, police described the incident as an altercation that escalated, but they did not publicly confirm who fired the shot.
Questions began shaping the story. What caused the confrontation? Was the shooting intentional, reckless, or accidental? What evidence would support the charges? Public reaction grew, largely because of the Mugabe name and the seriousness of the allegations. Meanwhile, detectives continued gathering statements and reconstructing events inside the residence. Within days, the case moved into the court system.
On 23 February 2026, the accused appeared before the Alexandra Magistrates Court. Prosecutors confirmed the charges and told the court the investigation was ongoing. They also indicated that the firearm had still not been recovered. The issue of bail became central. Because of the seriousness of attempted murder allegations, bail decisions required careful consideration.
The matter was postponed, and the accused remained in custody pending further proceedings. Legal analysts note that attempted murder cases depend heavily on proving intent. Without a recovered weapon, prosecutors may rely more on witness testimony, medical evidence, and forensic analysis. At this stage, the court process focused on procedure rather than guilt. The key facts would emerge later through evidence.
The Hyde Park shooting highlights how quickly a private dispute can become a major legal case when prominent families are involved. Since the death of Robert Mugabe in 2019, his children have periodically attracted media attention, but this case carries far more serious implications. Attempted murder charges can lead to significant prison sentences if proven. However, being charged does not mean guilt, a principle central to the justice system.
Several questions continue to shape the case. Whether the firearm will be found, what forensic evidence ultimately shows, what witnesses testify in court, how the defense explains the incident, whether intent can be proven. For the victim, recovery remains the most immediate concern. For investigators, the focus remains evidence. And for the public, the Hyde Park shooting remains an unfolding legal story, one that will ultimately be decided not by headlines, but by what is presented in court. As proceedings continue, the case moves forward step by step, and many of the most important answers are still ahead.